We are following some breaking news. Republican lawmakers say they have reached a spending deal to avoid a government shutdown, but the deal is not done quite yet. As a reminder, there was a bipartisan deal previously, but President-elect Donald Trump and Elon Musk spoke out against it and derailed it. CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane is following the developments for us on Capitol Hill. So, Scott, this is hot breaking news. What do we know about the deal so far?
Hey, Lana. So Republicans have walked out of a meeting with the House Speaker indicating they have some agreement, at least amongst themselves, about how to plow forward with less than 36 hours until this deadline to avert a government shutdown and all the consequences that come from it. But having agreement with each other is not the same as having an agreement with all the Democrats. They'll need to support this to get this thing into law. But the indication is they found something that they believe is palatable with President-elect Trump, with perhaps his biggest surrogate right now, Elon Musk, and all those who are aligned with Trump and Musk. They're forecasting a possible vote this evening, but there is work to be done to secure Democrats on this because they cannot pass something through this Congress without some number of Democrats. Potentially, if the configuration goes this way, they would need dozens of Democrats. So clearly there's work to be done.
Well, that is really interesting, Scott, because we know how much the Democratic leader, Jeffries, really felt burned by Republicans pulling this deal after there was bipartisan agreement. Do we have any indication of how Democrats may respond? And obviously, for our viewers, we are still awaiting the details. Republicans have said at this point that that will be released shortly.
Yeah, any change in the composition or the recipe of this type of agreement is going to require Democrats to not only subscribe to it, to endorse it, but potentially there may be some concessions that they get, which could pose an issue of fragility. This thing has the risk of falling apart because once you start changing the formula, the structure shifts. But to be clear, the House Democratic leader has been unambiguous today that he thinks an agreement's been backed out on by Republicans and there's a loss of faith, fracture in a relationship because of that. They're going to have to rebuild that. They're going to have to mend that before they press ahead.
And usually that would mean concessions, but some of those concessions were exactly why President-elect Trump and his surrogate Elon Musk said that they didn't like the bipartisan deal. So talk to us, Scott, about their role in greenlighting this. And let's get real specific, actually, about the debt ceiling in particular and what the president-elect wants to see.
Yeah, he wants the debt ceiling issue to be gone from the start of his presidency, whether that means getting rid of it altogether, ending the debt ceiling, which, oh, by the way, has had some bipartisan support in the past, or kicking it a couple years down the road. That remains to be seen. But if he's going to do that, if he's going to insist upon that, and if this Republican agreement includes getting the debt ceiling off the table, it runs the risk of losing Republican votes. There are this group of Republicans who have consistently, over the years, long before Trump came along, said they don't support raising the debt ceiling. They don't think it makes for good fiscal sanity and good fiscal practices. So if he loses Republicans by including the debt ceiling, he'll have to get yet more Democrats on board. And that's where the second part of this very important two-part equation comes. You have to have an agreement among Republicans, but you have to get Democrats on board as well. And there is no readout yet on what they think of whatever has been concocted in the Speaker's office.
Let's even rewind a little bit more, Scott, because that's the politics of the debt ceiling. Explain for our viewers, just because it is so complicated, because normally Republicans are the ones who are saying that the debt ceiling shouldn't be raised and that they want all the spending to match up. They want to cut the budgets. Just explain for our viewers who are following all of this at home and trying to better understand what's happening with their tax dollars and with their elected officials, how the debt ceiling even plays into this debate. What is the debt ceiling? How does that affect how the government sets their budgets?
Oh, that debt ceiling is a piece of political kryptonite for when you're in power because you want to spend more money, but you have a certain limit, and you have to raise that limit if you want to keep spending. Every time it happens, it frustrates people. It's not popular back home. It is popular back home politically to say, I'm done with incurring debt. I want to be more fiscally responsible. So whoever's out of power likes to say, we got to hold you to that debt ceiling. Whoever's in power wants to raise it. That's the dynamic. You've had Republicans railing against raising the debt ceiling in years past. They'll be keen on doing it this time. The same was true with Democrats when they've gone in and out of power. We've hit a fundamental moment now, haven't we, Lana, where one party will control the different levers of power in Washington, and they'd like to synchronize on the debt ceiling. But this same pernicious fundamental issue is true now and will be true in January. The margins are so narrow in the U.S. House, they are almost unable to do things on a party line vote, if not truly unable to do things on a party line vote. They will need Democrats to get on board all these ideas, and that's tricky.
Very tricky. Scott, I want to mention for our viewers that Representative Stephanie Bice said that she was asked if Trump would support this. She said yes on that. But as you're explaining quite correctly, that they'd have to get the Democrats on board as well. So this is far from being a done deal. How is the federal government preparing for the possibility of a shutdown? Because it is looming.
Yeah, federal agencies truly have a handbook, literally have a handbook for how to handle what they call lapses in appropriations. You and I call them shutdowns. It means some services get mothballed, some federal workers, and when I say some, I mean hundreds of thousands, get furloughed. They go home, they don't get paid. Some workers still have to come onto the job because they're essential, they just don't get their paychecks. That's a problem for them, and some will just not show up without paychecks, so that's a problem for us. If we're going through a TSA checkpoint, or somebody who's traveling internationally or needs to get a benefit check from Washington. These have real costs. Shutdowns cost more money than they save. They're preparing for that possibility. That's really the leverage, Lana, to get deals cut. Nobody wants to see the shutdown in leadership, so that does force some 11th hour action that may have begun as the evening began here in Washington.
And Scott, I'm going to share with our viewers as well what we have confirmed from two GOP staffers, that this agreement includes a clean extension of government funding for 3 months, no spending cuts. It suspends the debt ceiling until January 30th, 2027, and which really goes to your point about President-elect Trump. $110 billion in disaster aid, $10 billion in farm aid, a 1-year farm bill, and health care extenders. Is there enough in that, do you think, for Democrats to get on board?
Yeah, it's also what you're not saying that may cause trouble, too. But let's start with the fact that the debt ceiling increase is going to cause some shift in the vote. You're going to lose some Republicans. You'll have to gain some Democrats. Maybe you'll lose some Democrats because Republicans appear to have surrendered to Donald Trump's interests, and that may cost some votes. All of this is fluid. The wrong analogy, Lana, is to compare this to a puzzle. The correct analogy is to compare this to a Jenga tower. You take one block out, does it fall over? Is the next block out going to cause it to fall over? You didn't mention a guarantee that the federal government will fund restoration of the collapsed Key Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland. That was part of the initial deal. If that's gone, what happens to your support from Maryland? Do they all back out because they lost their big thing? Think of a Jenga tower on the kitchen table. Any one piece could cost it its stability. Nothing is locked down.
All right, and we do hear a new tweet from the president-elect on social media saying that he will, in fact, support it. The questions, as you raised, Scott, will Democrats as well. Scott MacFarlane, thank you for chasing down all of the different aspects of this.